Hey, fellow film buffs, England team for Xtreme Movie Show. Yes, I got a couple of movie reviews, and yes, a couple of them are very, very late. But I figured, what the heck, let's take a look at them. Of course, we're going to start off with a newer film that came out this week. It's called Dora, the Lost City of Gold. Yes, I went and saw it. Also have Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Hobbs Shaw. So without further ado, let's get this party started.
If you think you know Dora...
Delicioso! Can you say delicioso?
She'll grow out of it.
Think again.
Dora and the Lost City of Gold. I don't know why I was drawn to this movie. Before any of the others that came out, I was like, I have to see this film for some reason. And, I mean, my kids were the right age when she came around. But the thing is I don't know, some about the movie said, you know what, this could be fun. And you know what, I was right. Holy Toledo. I was so amazed at how much I like this film. I'm not saying it's the best of the year or anything, but it reminded me of the Brady Bunch movie from the 90s. This is a film that knows its source material. It respects its source material. At the same time, it's parodying its source material. That is an incredibly hard thing to balance. To be respectful and to make fun of all at the same time. I was very impressed. Funny film. They do play off the trope, of course, as you saw in the little intro, about how she'll look to the audience and say, hey, can you say delicioso? And she'll do that with just anything. Swiper is in there and is an animated fox that nobody ever takes another look at. It's just a lot of fun. Plus, it's an adventure story as well. And it works on that level. I am quite amazed that they were able to pull this off. The young lady who plays Dora really nails the role. Wide-eyed, never cynical, even when things get to be their worst, much like the scenes in the Brady Bunch movie. Like I was saying, they always were just who they are in the cartoon, in this case, in the TV show. The people around her, of course, don't exactly know what to make of her a lot of times because of this situation. And the thing is this is something that could have been a one-note trick. It could have just been, okay, we've seen it already. Let's go. Let's move on. But it doesn't. It never becomes that. And yes, by the way, that was Danny Trejo as a monkey, and Isabella Moner, really good up-and-coming actress. I'm really interested in seeing what she does next, because this was a lot of fun. I don't know where it would land in my top movies of the year, my list or anything, but for now, I've got to say, it's just like I said, it's a lot of fun. I'm trying to think, what else can I say about this without making any kind of spoiler. I don't know how many people who are watching this channel, the Xtreme Movie Show, go see Dora. But a movie can be extreme so long as it's following its own rules and it tells a good tale and makes an entertaining film. And Dora the Explorer and the Lost City of Gold is absolutely an entertaining film. Next up, Hobbs Shaw.
Pick a door.
All right then.
No, that's my door. Pick another door.
What's wrong with you? You know what? You were right. This is your door.
So we talk about 1980s movies a lot. As a matter of fact, our top 10 Tuesdays for the last 10 weeks have been 1980s movies. And it's a lot of fun when we see one that really kind of grasps the feeling, just the tone of a 1980s action film. And that's Hobbs and Shaw. That's Hobbs and Shaw in a nutshell. These are two superhero men, just like a Rambo, just like any Arnold Schwarzenegger films, who are doing incredible stunts in silly situations that anybody else would get themselves killed in. A lot of great action, of course. They're surrounded by hundreds of guys. They're fighting, and each one waits their turn to get their ass kicked, just like the I had a great time with this film. I really did. It's just tons of fun. It's not a great movie, which I think even makes it better, because it does kind of embrace its silliness. There's a scene at the end, of course, they're in Samoa, and they have to fight everybody with the Samoan traditional weapons. So you got that. You've got an actual supervillain with Idris Elba, where he's wearing some sort of armor that enhances his strength and his durability, the whole 9 yards. There are some over-the-top stunts, some over-the-top special effects, though. Part of the problem of the movie, if I'm pointing out any of the flaws, is it does have some CGI stunts, and I think they would have just done better if they had actually done it all practical. And yeah, I'm talking about even the most deadlier of the stunts that we would have seen done practically in the 80s. You know, we've seen Top Gun with all the flying stunts. We've seen towers being dropped in cars in movies like Hooper. There's one point where they're towing a line of cars on a helicopter. Wouldn't that be awesome to have seen that done live? I don't know. Maybe it was at some point in time, though. It looked kind of fake, and I guess it was whenever they had The Rock in the close-up, because while it would have been cool, it's cool to see him tow a line of cars on a helicopter, they wouldn't want to put their big star in that kind of danger. Either way, if you haven't seen it, and with the box office it's made so far, I don't think there's too many people who hasn't seen this movie. You should. It's a ton of fun, and it's definitely worth a movie theater experience. And yes, see this one in the movie theater. Next up, I want to talk a little bit about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Lethal weapons. We get into a fight, I accidentally kill you, I go to jail.
Anybody accidentally kills anybody in a fight, they go to jail. It's called manslaughter.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Holy Toledo. This is my favorite film of the year. So obviously this is going to be a positive review. I'm very happy. Now, I actually was thinking Endgame was going to be it. After I saw Avengers Endgame, I was thinking nothing's going to top this. And then I saw this, and I just freaking fell in love with it, man. Seriously. Now, I'm a big movie buff. So I like movies about movies. And this is kind of like that. It's actually a movie about Hollywood more than just movies, although that is a huge part of it. Granted, it does take place during 1969, leading into 1970. The Manson family is a backdrop to the film, and I'm sure a lot of you have either seen this movie or watched some sort of video on it, so you know everything, but I'm not going to be spoiling it here. This is Quentin Tarantino's universe, so history doesn't always play out the way you would think it would, much like Inglourious Basterds. As a matter of fact, Leonardo DiCaprio's character plays in a movie based on the events that happened in the Inglourious Basterds. It's that much of an in-joke as well. I had a lot of fun with it, you know, and I can't do anything but highly recommend it. This is definitely an A score for me. And just to fill out the 10-minute mark, I'm going to talk about Wu Assassins for a little bit.
Since the beginning of time, the Wu warlords have brought suffering and death to our world. But 1,000 monks sacrificed themselves to empower a chosen one to stop them.
The trailer looks good. I really like the people involved in it. They're the ones that did the Raid and Raid 2 and such, and The Night Comes For Us, so they can make a really good, brutal action film. And I was looking forward to the Wu Assassins. I'm on episode 4, so basically this could be considered a premature review. I should watch all of it. I just have no desire to continue. It's dull. Now, don't get me wrong. The fight scenes are awesome. It's all the in-between stuff that just kills it for me. I want to like it a lot more than I do, and at some point I'm probably going to finish up, and maybe I'll even do a binge review where I just go through every episode talking about it as it goes. As of now, though, I don't know what I was looking for. Well, yeah, I do. I was looking for The Night Comes For Us, the 2 Raid movies, something that was just adrenaline, because that's what those movies are. This could have that. This could be that, but I think the problem here is they're trying to stretch a 2-hour, maybe 3-hour movie over 10 or 13 hours, and that's the big problem. So they got to shove in a whole bunch of filler story, which really slows down the pacing. Now, granted, once again, I'm on episode 4, and I do believe this is a 10-episode or a 13-episode show, so it deserves more of a look. But at this point, do not be surprised if you put this show on and you get some awesome action scenes with a whole bunch of slow and boring dialogue. So there you go, guys. 4 reviews. If I were to rank them and you're thinking 1 and 2 is horrible, 3 and 4 is bad, 5 and 6 is average, 7 and 8 is good, and 9 and 10 is excellent, I would have to give Dora probably a 7. I would give Hobbs Shaw probably a 7. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood gets a 10, and I would have to give Wu Assassins probably a 5 at this point. Yeah, that's where they would stand. Anyway, what would you think? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to click like and share and get word out about this channel. We're awesome, gosh darn it. We're extreme. And don't forget to hit that notification bell if you haven't done it already. Make sure your notifications are on for YouTube. Thank everybody who's already done that. And to everybody, all of my fellow film buffs out there, stay extreme.